everyone, welcome back to Fighting Spirit Film Festival. I've got another interview for you today. I have a special guest with me here today. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Mikko Löppönen. I'm a professional editor in Finland, and on the occasion, I make the little action short film.
Can you describe yourself in three fictional characters?
Now, that was a pretty difficult question. I have no idea how to describe myself in three fictional characters. How do people usually answer this one?
Say, sometimes your favorite characters reflect who you are, or like people, how they wish they will be perceived by people.
No idea.
That's fair. How would other people describe you?
Oh, as a person,
Mhm.
I have no idea either. Probably as a pretty regular guy who likes to make action films.
What is the best part of making action films?
Shooting them. Like that is the moment where you're like solving puzzles and like actually making the thing you've been pre-producing beforehand. So I really enjoy the shooting process itself. I enjoy the difficulties and the challenges.
Where did the idea for the boss come from?
Well, we had like a free day off and we were trying to figure out what to film. So usually that tends to gravitate towards making a fight scene, but we had no plot. So after a little bit of a thinking around, we tried to come up with a good conflict for two main characters. And I think we came up with something odd and then just rolled with it.
How did you do the casting for the boss?
The casting for the boss was pretty easy because they were like my friends who I use in films. So duh. And they are Jessica is an actress slash stunt person. Essie is a stunt person, and then Rita is an actor too. So it was basically not necessarily written for them, but planned for them.
Can you tell us about the fight choreography design for the boss? How did you use the space of the location to design the choreography?
Well, the space was a kitchen, and we tried to use it without destroying anything. As a as the place was where I work, I got to use it. So we just had to make sure that we didn't like throw anything in the bin. The choreography was then basically done on the spot, just looking around and figuring out where do we want to go. Start here, go here, enter here.
How did the fight choreography affect the cinematography?
They're usually very connected, like the cinematography and the fight choreography. So if you just take a fight choreography by itself, you need to like enhance it somehow. You need to enhance the moves and figure out how to make it better with the camera. So there were some new things that I tried to do. For example, top shots that roll around when people are like grabbing one another and they're spinning around. So I have a camera which I can roll with the characters and give it a little bit of like dynamic visuals. But like as a small shoot, I tend to then do something that I haven't done before. And those little 360 camera moves were the thing I was most interested in playing around with in this shoot.
What was your favorite part of filming the boss?
Well, the shooting of it. We tend to have a lot of fun as we're shooting. We have stupid jokes and we like each other's company. So the shooting part is always the most fun part. And I think it's also for us the most creative part where we can play around with ideas a little bit.
And what was the most challenging part of filming the boss?
Actually, it was relatively easy. I think the challenging part was not to make it too easy, which we didn't do. So we kept it quite simple and doable. So we unfortunately we pushed all the challenges aside and just made it pretty easily. I think the fact that we decided early on not to have any blood in it, just to keep it quite safe, was a little bit of a challenge as the storyline would have required a bit more brutality, but like that's probably the only story-based challenge we had.
What was the editing process like for the short film?
Short and quick.
Mhm.
I think the first cut was done in a day, and then after we did a couple of inserts, very like 2 or 3 shots, only with Essi. So we didn't even have anyone else. We just a couple with one falling down, I think, maybe a hand shot somewhere, and then edited those in. So the edit was relatively easy. I didn't count how much time it went, but I would assume like the edit itself maybe 1 or 2 days, and then like when you add in sound, that's maybe 1 day more, but pretty easily done.
What was your favorite part of the final edit of the short film?
Favorite part? Well, my favorite part is the beginning with the conflict, actually, because like it's I think it's more designed for Finnish people as the dialogue is in Finnish, and then we've subtitled it for English viewers. But like I really like how they perform that scene for me. That's kind of the thing. Like when you get the conflict, after that it's just fighting, and I've done that, so I kind of did that again with my left hand. But I was really interested in the conflict at the beginning and trying to get them into a natural place where the fight then progresses forwards. So that was the most fun part for me. And also I had a lot of laughs with the actresses during doing that.
What was the best feedback you received for the boss?
I think I've been quite surprised that people think that we put a lot of effort into it because we did it really fast and really quick. So I kind of take that as a compliment.
And lastly, do you have any upcoming projects you can tell us about?
Yeah, I'm doing a new short film which is slightly longer and like way more into the like genre stuff with lots of blood and violence. It's called Father's Day. It's about a father and a daughter having a little bit of a communication breakdown, and then there's a little twist, and then we get into the action stuff. I haven't really done a log line yet. We've shot it, and it's basically edited. I'm just doing audio now, and that's gonna take a while for me to get done.
That's cool. Now time for speed round. So for this section of the interview, you pick one film per question.
Okay,
So if you've got 10 seconds for each question, what is your current favorite film?
Empire Strikes Back.
What is your favorite cult classic film?
Evil Dead 2.
What film makes you laugh the most?
Army of Darkness.
What is the best film made in the last 5 years?
Oh, shit. When was Mad Max? Fury Road. That was way before 5 years. What have I even seen during these 5 years? Help. Did the 10 seconds pass?
Yes, but I can take Mad Max as an answer.
Awesome.
And lastly, which cinematic universe would you like to live in?
How many are there?
You've got Star Wars, you've got Marvel and DC.
Yeah, probably like from the big Hollywood cinematic universes, probably. I'd like to say Star Trek
Mhm.
before the newer series. So that's if you consider that a cinematic universe.
Oh, yeah, of course it is.
Well, that's my pick. Just
Well,
for the science aspect of it, even though there's not much science anymore, but it could be.
well, thank you so much for doing the interview. Thank you for taking your time
Thank
to
you. Thank you.
talk talk with us.
Have a great day.